Hi everyone, welcome to Katie Moonchild's World. I'm Katie. It's a place where we come for looking for solutions to help maybe inspire us, calm us, help us breathe just a little bit, maybe just hang with me, stay with me for the next half hour or so, and we'll see what we find. This is a oracle card reading. It is not about politics unless you choose to interpret it into that. I use 3 decks by Colette Baron Reed. The first one is the why am I always trying to combine these two in the same words? It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle. It's the first one. It's the one that tells us our current situation. So that's the one that we begin with. First of all, I want to welcome, before we do this, I want to welcome you to be here. And obviously I'm tongue-tied. I have been all week, kind of scatterbrained, but it's because I've been so extremely focused. And affected. And that's all I'm saying. I wouldn't be human if I wasn't affected. So, anyway, welcome to my subscribers. You don't know how much I really do appreciate you. I mean, honestly, really. And then, welcome to my new people, my visitors. Thanks for stopping by. I hope maybe this will give you some ideas and answers. And if you like what you see, maybe you'll share it with someone. And maybe you'll decide to come back for more and subscribe. If you do, make sure you ring the bell that says all, so you let YouTube know you want to know when I post something else. I post various things. My most recent post was just a little bit of music in my garden, watching the bees and watching a fountain and a kitty cat. No talking, because you'll find I talk a lot. So, thank you all for being here. And let's get started. Let's see what our current situation is. What is card saying? I did a reading for me a few minutes ago that I was like, how am I supposed to show this to everybody when it's only supposed to be one card out of this? I had 5 cards fall out. So I lined them up and looked at them, and it told a very powerful story, but it was personal. So and that was right after I cleansed the cards and cleansed me. So I was like, okie dokie, thank you. So what do we need to know today for our current situation? Okay, what's this card say? Oh, yes, and of course, it's for entertainment purposes only. We're just doing this for fun. Wow. I always say that. But that's a wild card. It's true. Where have we all been? Where's the world been this week? We've been the witness to a lot. Really a lot. An incredible amount of darkness. But look how small that darkness is. And there's a little bit of it on both sides. But look how small. And look how bright and big the light is. And we're the in-between. Of course, we're the middle world. We do have the vision, the eye. I'm going to get the light to stop glaring. See the eye? We have sacred vision. You ask for it. And it comes to you. It brings about transformation. I love the butterfly on the third eye. Brings about transformation and it opens your heart. The circle. But it is so powerful, sometimes we want to push it away. So we try to throw doctrine in between to slow it down. When all we need to be is like the fox. See the fox back here? I guess that's a fox. Anyway, I mean, this witness wears the antlers of the deer, so, you know, deer don't really stir up a lot of stuff. They eat a lot. I guess when they trample through your garden, they do kind of stir it up. But, I mean, they're not predatory. And they're silent as they come through. And when they get scared, they stop and watch before they turn and run. You know, the old deer in the headlights. I think we've kind of all been in shock. And we've been staying in shock. Wake up. We gotta use this. We have this. We're born with this. This is not something you develop or choose to believe in or swear to or give allegiance to. You have it already. And many, many, many are discovering that. And many are asking for it to be reactivated because some have dimmed it. But this down here, when it was bigger, is what helped dim it. Didn't have to be that way. It also doesn't have to be, this does not have to be pushed away. You've got to be open to it. That's our current situation. The next card is from the Shamanic Dreams deck. And this is our dreams and goals. What are our dreams and goals? That card acted like it wanted to flip over. We'll just take it. Oh. Appropriate. Very appropriate card. More so, I think, this week. I got the wailing tree. It's interesting, I have to mention it. What's going on in the world right now is bringing out reconciliations between countries that have been enemies for thousands of years. Pardon me. It's hard work. But it's because of the heartache. The tree of life is still burning up here. It's on fire. And it hurts. Makes the sap run out. Makes the tears run out. We want reconciliation. And put this fire out. Help heal the tree of life. Let it heal. Boy, don't we need reconciliation. And I don't just mean, that's such a huge, all of us need it. No matter where you stand, pardon me. I always do this really early in the morning. No matter where you stand, politics or whatever, how you interpret this reconciliation is up to you, not me. Okay? I just give a few suggestions maybe to make you think about it. How do we get from just being the witness to helping with this reconciliation that the whole world needs? We'll be guided by the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. Next. How do we get from being the witness to helping with reconciliation? These cards over. The Strength card. Ooh, and a double number. We've got an angel card. I know there's a glare. I'll fix that just a second. Okay. Pick it up and hold it. That's quite a balancing act, I'd say. Want to talk about strength? There's the new tree of life. This must be Gaia. Don't you look at it as though that's Mother Earth? I mean, look, she's got the whole earth and the tree of life in one hand. Well, she's releasing the new leaves of spring down here into the winter. It's spring over here. Whoop. Sorry. It's spring over here. Look at beautiful sparkles coming from her. Be strong and stay connected, because it's going to feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. And maybe that's perhaps we do. Our world, we definitely have the weight of our individual worlds on our shoulders. How can the rest of this world consider anything besides starvation and innocent victimhood when we're watching what's happening? I can't watch it. It makes me physically ill. I can't watch it, so. But I've been that way because of being a child in the Vietnam War. And, you know, that was the time of TV dinners and eating on TV trays instead of at the table. And everything was just starting to be televised. I'm sorry, that ring is awful. Everything was just starting to be televised. Even though we had a black and white TV, we always had to watch TV, watch the news while we had dinner during the Vietnam War, and they were televising the war. Like, what? It was the first time, you know, seeing something like that for most of the world. Didn't even compare to what's possible now with cell phones and individuals. As long as there's a cell tower to upload it to. Okay, wow. We have to have our individual strengths, folks, as we're witnessing this wailing of the world. We have the light in our hands. We have the strength. I'm going to print out what every single one of the double numbers mean. So I guess you guys get to look it up this time again. I'm not a numerology person, but yeah. That is something worth having and worth knowing for life, period. And you can find all kinds of stuff like that on Pinterest. That's where I found it, in a list. Pardon me. Anyway, back to the reading. I digress. I guess it's because when I get off on such a serious topic, it gets hard. Very hard. It triggers things in my empath that I don't want to see. I start being forced to see things whether I'm looking at TV or not. So I've been trying to keep my thoughts on other things. That is my strength. I get creative. I get nervous. I get worried. I get ill. I get really creative. Well, when I have fibromyalgia flare, no, I don't get creative because my brain gets foggy. The new moon made my brain foggy. Kind of interesting, the timing of all of this. That's all I can say. Keep your strength. Stay strong. This is how we get to have a reconciliation. I also see something else in this card. I want you to look. There's a childlike joy going on in it. in her creation, in her holding up the world. You know, it's not like a burden of, like the artwork you see of Atlas holding the world on his shoulders. She's holding it all in one hand. And look. She looks total, and look. That energy flows right this way across her body, and she's kicking it out her opposite leg from her hand. It's flowing out of her toes and her fingers. Look how much life there is around her. Kind of dim down here below. So she's sending transformation and springtime. Our strength is in the coming spring, you guys. I just heard that loud and clear as I'm looking at the leaves that make up her skirt. And these are the fall leaves. And she's releasing new, small, green leaves. But at first, when I first looked at the card, I thought they were little butterflies. But they're little green leaves like they're from her head, her hairdress. Sorry, if I get it too close, you can't see it. Like they're from her head, her hairdress. There, camera. I tell you. Interesting. So, our strength's is going to be, we're going to be stronger in the spring. Right now we're still in this winter thing. But, yeah, be strong through the winter. Because spring is coming. It's tiny and small right now. The transformation of all the new growth is happening at the roots in everything, including us. Including us. Big time change. World is tired of war and tired of tyrants. Who want it? Well, I am tired of war and tyrants who want it. I am tired of constantly being told things that are supposed to make me be, oh no, afraid. I am tired of being told things that are blown out of proportion. And I'm tired of not being told what really matters. I'm tired of all of that being controlled by anyone. Anyone who says you can't say one thing or the other, or you can't print one thing or the other. Unless what you print hurts someone else or incites violence. So let's say, unless what you're saying or printing has malintent. I don't know if that's a legal term or not, but it works in the metaphysical world. It also works as a writer. It's kind of a cool word, I think. Anyway. So obviously we have chakra out of place. Out of balance. That we need to work on. Let's find out what that is. I've been thinking a lot about this the last couple days. This is really, really important right now. What do you say? How do you communicate? What tone do you use? That is our throat chakra, specifically in communication. Not necessarily in voicing things, it's in how. It's not about the First and Second Amendment and all that and your rights, and it's how you communicate it, how you apply it. We all say things that get misunderstood. How often do you stop to communicate that that's not what you meant? Or rather than just straightening it out, the miscommunication out, you just let it go. It's easier. Changes the subject in some of us. Some of us have a conversation that's uncomfortable and information gets misconstrued. Sometimes it's easier to just let it be. No. It's how you communicate your information. It's how you use your expression. It's how truthful you are. The tone of your voice. Your throat chakra, when it's balanced, you are expressing yourself clearly in communication. You're speaking your truth. You're being honest. You have a sense of integrity and you stand up for yourself. You are willing and able to voice your opinion. And here we got a card over here that tells us we're just being witnesses. That's not voicing our opinion. That's not standing up for what you believe in. If something's eating at you that's going on or whatever, find out what you can do to help it stop eating at you. Be able to voice your opinion. When your communications and your throat chakra are out of balance, you can't express yourself. You feel like you need to stifle the communication that you're thinking in your head. And that makes you inauthentic. Turns you into a liar, makes you manipulate, and makes you tend towards gossip. You have fears of being judged, which is kind of interesting, because when you're gossiping, what the hell do you think you're not... What do you think you're doing when you gossip? You're judging. But yet, you're doing that because you're afraid of being judged yourself. It's the mirror work. The quote, I hate this word, this phrase, pet peeve. The thing that bothers you in an interaction with another person, they might have a tick or a quirk, whatever. Something about that communication may bother you. So you tend to stifle the communication because you're judging that person. Well, what that is that's bothering you is a trait that you have yourself that you don't want to look at. So I guess that's what pet peeve means. So yeah, when you got fears of being judged, because you gossip and you're also afraid of being judged, you've got both sides of the coin. It's like the coin is flipping constantly. You're going to betray yourself no matter what you do when you stop that coin from flipping. Who did I tell what to? And all the while, your inner voice is telling you, stop it. Do you know what you're doing? Hey! And you're ignoring it. The crystals to wear or to use or to carry, even if you just stick it in your pocket. Turquoise, which I have some, but it's buried under the cards. Aquamarine, celestine, azurite, and agate. Those are all varying shades of blue to bluish green. When you look at yourself in the mirror this week, tell yourself this is how to trigger a different way of thinking. Tell yourself, I am honest and clear in my communication. Number 1, I have a right to speak my truth. I live my authentic life. I express myself through creativity, music, or writing, and I love myself. I always giggle when I see that phrase. I express myself through creativity, music, or writing. Music and writing are creativity. I guess they're meaning art, music, or writing. Anyway, you express yourself through your creativity. Period. Whatever you choose to be creative doing. Whether it's painting stones and things gold to put outside your windows and doors and just to kind of help that feng shui a little bit. I mean, that's all that is. It's just acrylic paint that when it dries makes it look like a nugget, right? So then I got carried away doing that. It's like, what else can I paint green? So I had this wooden ball. I didn't even bother to sand it. You can tell. You can see the ridges of how it's glued together. I'll sand it off and I'll put another coat on. But it's kind of fun. I have crystal ball over here with the earth etched in it. And it's amethyst crystal. You got the whole world etched into it. It's got the I like the Indonesia, Australia, all that, New Zealand. That's cool. Got this years and years and years ago. Folks, there's a lot of water right there that's underneath that ice cap that's melting, melting, melting. Anyway, your throat chakra. That's what's going on with us. You know, also when you're communicating, do you use a corrective tone in your voice, or do you use a loving tone in your voice with what you have to say? Do you just blurt your words out, or do you stop and think about Wait, this word could sound a little harsh. Maybe I should pick something a little kinder. You know, I always end this particular video with be kind to one another. You know, but most of all, be kind to yourself. When you get in the practice of being kind to yourself, kind in your communications, it just kind of happens that you become kind to other people. It's something that you plant that seed of change, and it happens. It's an interesting reading today. Stop just being the witness and pushing away that power you have to bring about reconciliation, because that's got to happen. That's got to happen, because the tree of life is on fire, folks. Look how small that tree of life is right there in comparison to the whole world. It's because of her. But that's us. She's in every single one of us. That's our creativity. Our strength is in our creativity. We will figure out the best way to turn this situation around, to communicate our authentic, loving selves, to bring about harmony, and to stop the carnage. Whatever carnage that is, if that's your personal life, if that's the world situation, that interpretation is always up to you. What detail you want to put that into. Spirit, can we have a message that's just in general for us today? For us to use this coming week, or for us to use today, or the next minute, as you're cooking breakfast, whatever, as you're cooking lunch or dinner, depending on when you're saying this. Can we have a message, please, from the wisdom of the earth that's our strength? The Wisdom Earth Oracle, please. Whoa, 3 cards. Okay. First card. Rest. As we're resting, bringing about spring. Spring's coming. Tree of Life is working in our dreams and is calling to us for reconciliation. This card's telling us to rest. Whoa, let's make that shiny. Rest. The next card is prosperity. Look how dark it is, though. It's like our prosperity is in the darkness right now, but it's still flowing. It's still in the flow. The light of the moon is trying to shine on it. It's functioning behind the scenes, as always. It's also Our prosperity is in us to stay in the flow. Because even as your different reservoirs where you think you cannot take any more, you'll get to the point where it overflows. And when it does, it ends up at a new destination that's better. And we worry and work it up so badly in our heads, thinking that it's not our prosperity, that it's going to take our prosperity, when it's actually collecting it down here for us. And finally, always call upon, rely upon, find the passion and the fire in out of the darkness. Find your protection in the divine. Speak to the divine, talk to the divine, ask. Ask for protection. That is where our spring is going to be coming from. Divine protection. Wow. So rest during this dark time. Whoa. Okay. Rest during this dark time. That glares off there yet. Rest during this dark time while our prosperity is building up. Lean on and call upon. Stay put, please. Divine protection for everyone and everything. Make your crystal grids. Wear your crystal stones. Keep your passion and fire of creativity. Don't let the darkness stifle your light. And you will bring about a new spring, a new life, a new beginning. Bigger and better than you ever dreamed. So wow, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you so much. Blessings to you. And yes, yes, yes. Be kind to one another. But most of all, be kind to yourself. And rest. When you feel the need, go for it. Just take a nap. Rest. I'm going to do a lot of that today. I was up all night. I will talk to you later. I love you very much. Be kind to one another. Most of all, be kind to yourself. We'll see you next time.